Goals in the 6-yard area. 5 behind. James gets there just first.
Massively disappointed in terms of how it turned out, and if I was to go back at my career and I could change one result, I think that would be the one.
Dodgy suits aside, Liverpool did manage to turn on the style the following season, but they just missed out on a Champions League place. With only one League Cup in Roy's trophy cabinet, the media spotlight began to focus on the man in charge.
How would you describe yourself, Roy? What sort of a man are you?
They've always called me Steady Eddie, and I suppose that's, about right, really. I don't go too far from the middle line.
Come out if you want, come out if you want!
Roy did a really, really good job. He just couldn't quite, win the big one. It always seemed to have eluded him. And I think if anything with him, he was, and I hate this phrase, but I'm going to use it, he was too nice.
Stand up, Robbie, stand up, Robbie! Well done, well done.
No, I disagree with this, to be honest. Regardless of what anyone says about Roy, I always thought he was a tough manager.
There's loads of different ways to skin a cat, and Roy Evans was absolutely very, very good manager, and Liverpool could have won the league under his tutelage.
Get it, Macca, get it, Macca, get it, Macca, get it, Macca. Get tackled there.
In '98, we felt that we were going to have to make a tough decision, make a change, because top of the table is where we wanted to be. And that's when the decision was taken to bring in ژرار Houlier.
That was my idea initially, because I thought Roy Evans had done a good job and I thought it was unfair, so I said we can have some kind of joint management.
The big decision taken together, and sometimes it's just minor things, either Roy or
we won't be doing this every week together. Some weeks I'll lose, some weeks I'll lose, because but there's got to be some benefits to it somewhere.
Yeah. It was a bold step for Liverpool to take. Maybe it was a case of can we minimise the risk by having a degree of compromise.
It might have been a bold move to begin with, but as soon as results started dropping off, there was a sense that, as far as managers go, it is better to walk alone.
You've got to have one man making the decisions, whether it's substitutions, team selection, leaving people out, or whatever. So one man should be in charge.
You can't do it by committee.
No.
If you call people joint managers, then from that start, then you're going to have a problem.
It's not a matter of personality between Roy and myself. I think he's a very nice man, very nice person.
Obviously, he's not my favourite man in all the world, but that's life. But I don't blame him in any shape or form.
Today is a sad day for Liverpool Football Club, and for me personally, as I have to inform you that we have agreed by mutual consent that Roy Evans and his assistant Doug Livermore are to leave the club.
It's not somebody who would knife you in the back, He's really, it's because the situation doesn't fit.
I love the bones of this place. It's been everything to me, and I've been delighted to work here, and I appreciate, I'd say, all the help I've had.
In football, sometimes it's a ruthless business. Sometimes you have to look after yourself, and possibly he was better at doing that than me.
The board was very good to me. They said, we don't have all the qualities in the world, but there's one virtue that we have: we are patient. Take your time, do what you have to do, we'll back you. I came back to my staff and I said, now I know we're going to win.
I think there was an acceptance that the culture of the club needed changing by the players. The players who had resisted were largely got rid of. And you could see the development of players like Michael Owen, Stephen, Cara.
In an under-19 game, Steve Highway asked me to go and see a player playing on the right. The guy who caught my eye that day was Steven ژرار. And he was in the middle of the park, going from box to box, tackling, shouting. showing some leadership quality despite his young age. So I decided to take him with me the next day.
2001 was, I think, a tremendous year. It started with the League Cup.
The Scots captain of Liverpool scores an absolutely stunning goal.
I think that was the most difficult final.
Andy Johnson, right footed save by Westerveld, and Liverpool have won the Worthington Cup.
That trophy was very important. It took some pressure off the team, you know. We'd won something.
Growing up, if you give me one game to score the winner in, it would have been FA Cup final. And I was so confident going into the game, but for 85 minutes, I just hadn't had a sniff of a chance.
Pushing and shoving, and there's the shot, and there's the equaliser. Michael Owen.
I just knew once I scored that goal, jogging past Arsenal players, seeing how slumped they were, and then just looking at the clock thinking, right, have I got enough time now to finish them off, or am I going to have to do it in extra time?
This is Berger, and Robbie Fowler looks sprightly now, wants the ball played early, but so does Owen, and he's getting the other side of Dixon. Michael Owen for Liverpool. Yes! Oh, he's done it! What an incredible few minutes for Michael Owen. Unbelievable stuff.
I possibly scored more famous goals, but give me one day again and I'd relived that day.
Come on, boys, come on. One good ball and
5 Liverpool players to attack the ball. Oh, it's an own goal!
Yeah! That was an own goal, wasn't it? It was an own goal.
Smile on the face of ژرار Houlié at the end.
After so many years without trophies, suddenly Liverpool couldn't stop winning them. And before long, they added 2 more by winning the Super Cup and the Charity Shield. Crucially, Liverpool also won qualification to the Champions League for the first time. After so long without success, it felt as if the club were back on top, although their treble was mocked by their rivals down the M62.
We won every competition that we entered in terms of cups, so you know, if that's Mickey Mouse, then I mean, God knows what everything else is, because I think for us to achieve that, I think it's quite extraordinary. It really is.
Winning those 5 trophies with Liverpool, which was the club of my heart, is different, you know. And when I say the club of my heart, you know, practically failed after that.
Come on, what's Stevie G?
We were really looking forward to the 2001-2002 season. Let this be the one where we win the league.
I fell ill on the at half-time of the game against Leeds. I don't want to go back on that. I'm sorry.
ژرار Houlié underwent a dissection of the aorta, the main vessel carrying blood to the heart. He's now on a ventilator in intensive care.
Puts life into perspective, puts football into perspective. Obviously our thoughts are very much with ژرار, and particularly with Isabel at this time, and we just wish him a very speedy recovery.
As might be expected after an operation of this nature and complexity, recovery is inevitably a slow and gradual process.
It almost felt as if the doctors were trying to keep him away, but he was adamant he wanted to be back, and it felt like he came back in far quicker time than he was supposed to.
I remember that day because when I came on the pitch, Capello was there. When he saw me, he hugged me. He went through the crowd. Gradually, I was in the stadium and I was back. Special night.
I think ژرار came back too soon. and he might disagree. I don't think he was the same person.
It's easy to have regrets. All I can say is that I was far too early and I probably paid it afterwards.